Today I'm going to show you how you can have flavorful herbs all year long. And no, it doesn't involve any drying. And it's such a windy day. I was planning on planting out some. It's just too windy. So we're going to go clip some herbs. The smell is absolutely amazing. So the recipe I follow is an old recipe that calls for 2 cups of basil leaves. And I am modifying this because you could use really any herb. So I'm going to use the oregano, and I've done this before and know that it's good. So it says 2 cups of the leaves with the stems removed, unless it's like the very end where it's like a really soft piece of stem. And then you're going to put it in the food processor, or I'm going to use a blender cup because I'm not doing like a massive batch, and my food processor is really big. I've got a tiny one, and then I've got this really big one. So the in-between is my like ninja cup. So I'm going to use that, and then you add 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil and 2 cloves of garlic. So you can chop up fresh garlic, or if you've got the store-bought minced garlic, that'll work too. That's what I used last time. And you like chop it up really good, and then you're going to make it into balls on a sheet pan. Yeah, I eyeball this stuff. It's supposed to be 2 to 3 tablespoons of the olive oil, and then you add in 2 cloves of garlic. I'm doing 3 because one of them was small. And then half a teaspoon of salt. Again, I eyeball. Okay, full disclosure, last time I did this, I used minced garlic, and I guess with that added liquid, it did better in the blender cup. This time I'm using my garlic cloves, and it's not doing as well in the blender cup. It's mostly chopped up, but I'm going to switch it over to my food processor at this point and just finish chopping it up. And then the next round I do, I may just cram it all in the food processor to make sure that my garlic is getting chopped up and like evenly distributed. So that finished chopping it up really good. This looks great. Okay, so I just added my oil in. I did 3 tablespoons of olive oil. I'm going to add in 2 cloves of garlic and a half teaspoon of salt. Typically, when an amount for garlic is given, I always add more than they ask for. So we're just adding this to the pile I already had here from the first mixing. This smells amazing. I mean, so good. That oregano has like a touch of a lemony scent to it, and it's so fresh. And so we add this to our food in the winter when we don't have access to the fresh herbs. We'll have that nice fresh flavor. So we're just going to shape this into balls and place it in the freezer. And then afterwards, just drop them all into a freezer bag. And that way, during our post-season cooking, we have access to these fresh herbs and that fresh flavor. There's a piece of stem, I'm removing that. Even out of season. So you can add this into soups. We added the other day into a pot of chicken and dumplings. And I'm just here to tell you, it took it to the next level. Everyone here was raving about it. And even if I've got some that didn't quite chop up, oh well, it's fine. This one's definitely more finely chopped up because I ran it through that food processor. I think from now on I'm just going to use that instead of the cup. I just figured I had too much to fit in there, but it actually worked out pretty good. I'm just going to make one big one. It's not really enough to split it in half. Now I'm off to wash my hands. Okay, there we have it. We're gonna, we're gonna put these in the freezer. And what you'll have when you're done are these frozen balls, and you just add them to a Ziploc bag, and you'll have access to them all year long. Okay, so why do this in the first place? Obviously, to have access to that fresh flavor even in the off season, but also to add those immune boosting properties to our foods, even when we don't have access to the fresh herbs. So when I added those herb balls to the freezer, I saw this pan in there. I forgot that I had those in there. It's strawberry season here too, and when there's a local farm that we're able to go to and get the berries. So I freeze them on jute pans and bag them up, and we use them all year long. And don't forget to save those scraps from your garlic in your freezer goodie bag. So if you're new here, I do a freezer goodie bag, and that's where we save all scraps. And when we go to make our bone broth, we add this to the pot. Thanks for watching our video. Be sure to like and subscribe to follow along.